Hey guys, so today we're going to continue our conversation about oxygen, acetylene cutting equipment, and torches. And so if you remember, we have our oxygen valve on our torch handle, our acetylene valve on the torch handle. And so in this case, we start with our acetylene valve closed and our oxygen valve open all the way, and then we control it with the oxygen valve that is up here on the cutting torch head. And then down here we have our high pressure cutting oxygen lever. So something really important, you never use this to dust yourself off because oxygen aids combustion, and if you get that oxygen, high concentrations of oxygen in your clothes, in the shop you got sparks from grinders, welding, cutting, and all that going on around you, you could spontaneously combust if you get that oxygen in your clothes. And so we're not going to do that. So what we do is you start by opening up, and you crack it open just a little bit. You open up your acetylene valve. So we're going to open that up just a little bit, and you'll start to hear a little bit of hiss. You might even smell it a little. Acetylene kind of smells like really bad breath. And it will light like that. And so if you look at, I'm using a striker to light it, a torch striker. You do not use matches or a lighter or anything like that. It's dangerous. Your hands are too close to it, and it's just not safe to do. So you always use something like this. And you don't want to hold it so that the torch head is pointing directly into it. You kind of hold it, if you noticed, I held it off to the side. Now the reason being, and if you're doing it like this, it's probably not a safety issue, but if you were doing it like this, where it's facing back towards you, and you had it facing directly into the cup of the striker, it could blow the flame back at your face, so that you want to make sure that you don't do that. And it's also a good idea to use Shade 5 protection, so I'm going to go ahead and use this as I start to adjust my flame. And so I'm going to open up my acetylene a little bit, holding it off at that angle, strike it, and you can see there's a lot of soot that comes off there. Hopefully you can see that in the video. So you're going to increase your acetylene till that soot starts to slow down. See, if you turn it down a little bit like that, you get a lot of soot, really sooty flame. And so this is what they call a carbonizing flame, because there's a lot of carbon in it. It's a bright yellow, and then you start to add oxygen into it by turning this valve here. And so you're going to keep adding oxygen into it until you get what's called a neutral flame. And so you see I have three distinct parts of the flame. I have cones that are really close to the tip. I have a single cone that sticks out, that's pointy, and then I have the feathers on the end of the flame. Now, this is extremely hot. If you just passed your hand through that, you'd have instant third-degree burns. So I'm going to go and increase my oxygen, wrong way, increase my oxygen till that longer cone there, see how it's longer and it gets shorter? It's longer now and it gets shorter. I'm going to bring that down until it touches my little cones that I have right at the tip. And that's what you call a neutral flame. Right at that point they touch. And then you can squeeze your lever just a little bit, check it and see if it still stays neutral. If not, adjust it. Now, if you turn the oxygen up too much, it starts hissing like that. And that's an oxidizing flame. You do not want that. So you want this neutral flame. So that's carburizing flame. I'm moving towards that neutral flame. And right there, that's the sweet spot that I reach it. Now, when you're turning off the torch, you do it the reverse of how you start the torch. You're going to turn off your oxygen first. So now you've got that carbonizing flame, or carburizing flame as they call it. And then you will turn off your acetylene. And you are done. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.